Well, as you can see, that was a snapshot of one of our special education department meetings, and we were able to discuss several things that we need to roll out and actually get taken care of. Once again, as you saw, myself as well as the other lead teacher, co-lead teacher, we were able to interact one with the other and kind of feed off of each other to facilitate the meeting and to relay the information that our department needed to know. Now again, you had special education inclusion teachers, self-contained teachers, as well as paraprofessionals who all were a part of that department meeting. We all together, working hand in hand, come together to accomplish what we need to for our kids. And so throughout that meeting, just a couple of highlights. Again, we started with due dates. We have this act called Act 833, which has been state mandated by the state of Louisiana Department of Education. In previous years, we have been able to test some of our mild moderate students, as well as some kids who have failed 2 consecutive state mandated testing cycles. We've been able to test them on an alternative assessment, which was called the La 2 test. This year, the state of Louisiana alleviated the alternative assessment test, and they created what is called an Act 833, which it gives some power or more power to the actual IEP team, which also it consists of administrator, special education personnel, regular education personnel, parents, student, and any service providers as needed. What this act has done is that it has given us an opportunity to be able to view each student on an individual basis, and depending upon their work ethic, their testing in classes, their regular classes, and the grades that they get therein. If by chance they do not score as successful as needed on the state mandated test, the IEP team can still make the decision whether or not to promote the student to the next level. And so when you heard us talking about Act 833, that's what it entailed. That act that has made provisions for us to be able to look at the snapshot of a child and make a individualistic decision based on that particular person. We talked about transitions, getting projected class lists to our central office for next year. We have to start preparing paperwork to let them know what student we believe will be moving to the next level. We never want to wait to the last minute to prepare for the upcoming school year, and so this is the time of year where we're shuffling and we're hustling and bustling and constantly moving to make sure that we get everything submitted in a timely manner so that our central office staff would have ample time to set everything in place, as to when we come back in the fall, everything would be in order and ready to roll. We also talked about our Law 1 students. Now, Law 1 are kids who have a little bit more difficulty in the learning environment. Most Law 1 kids, matter of fact, all Law 1 kids are served in a self-contained setting. Some are mild moderate, others are moderate, and then some are even severe profound. And so those are our kids who do not go out to inclusive settings. They receive all of their instruction in one classroom with teacher and said number of paraprofessionals. And so even in talking about Law 1, there are some new qualifications that are coming down from our state, where some kids who normally would not qualify for this exceptionality now may receive an opportunity to get qualified in that area so that they can get the type of special education assistance that they need. And so it's very essential for us to be able to give the best services to our kids on whatever level they're on. And in the past, unfortunately, some of their qualifications have kept them from receiving the type of specialized assistance that they need. So we're grateful that this new avenue is opening up through the changing of requirements for those who are considered to be Law 1. Also, we talk about IEPs, working in special education. IEPs are essential, and so we're making sure that we're handling our paperwork in a timely manner, that we're getting everything submitted before they expire. We're making sure that there are none that are due out of line, making sure that we present what is our best work, no spelling errors, make sure we're conducting spell check, and that we're putting all the necessary information on the IEP to ensure that the student gets a free and appropriate education. Also, there's a provision where all IEPs that we do have to be completed by May 8th for the upcoming first 2 months of the year. So our district have agreed that we won't work on IEPs in August or September unless it's a severe or as need basis. So every kid in our district, if their IEP is scheduled to expire before October 10th of the upcoming year, then we go ahead and conduct that IEP by May 8th of this year to ensure that we can adhere to not having to work on those IEPs in the first 2 months of the school year. This gives us time to learn what students we have on campus, to gather information, to disseminate accommodations and modifications to teachers, and to make sure that we have everything in place to roll out the school year. We talked about extended school year services, which is primarily for our more severe cases of students. We provide year-around schooling for some of those kids those severe, profound cases that really can't tend to themselves, can't do some of the normal functioning things for themselves. We give parents an opportunity to put them in ESY, which is considered extended school year services, for them to continue to receive services that they've been receiving through the regular school year. And then we concluded the meeting talking about sped inventory. This past school year, our school endured a fire, and during that fire, much of our equipment, technology was either shifted around, some was salvaged. And so each year our district conducts an inventory check to see what's still working, what isn't working, what has been replaced, what needs to be replaced, and what may just be simply missing or discarded. And so we're in the process of conducting our sped inventory to make sure that we have everything in place. So when the auditor comes, we would get a check and make sure that everything is in operational functioning, and that we're able to account for everything that we've had in the previous years. Overall, I think it was a good meeting. We're a real laid-back department, and so many of our meetings are informal. We did open up the floor for questions, and we made sure that we clarified any concerns. But as for myself and the other lead teacher, we kind of bounce off of each other and feed off of each other. And looking in the future when dealing with administration, I think that same type of teamwork is needed, because most schools have an administration team. And so that team feeds off each other, they bounce off of each other, and they work together to make team decisions to account for our school. And so this has been the reflection period in regards to my leading video. Thank you for your time, and wishing you the best.